It's just that now that they're in me, it's like I know them, and it's not going to be easy when, these little babies have to go away.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of React. Today we are going to be watching a snippet from Friends where Phoebe is about to give birth to triplets that she has been caring for her brother and sister-in-law, and is feeling a little bit worried about how she's going to feel when they come and she has to give them up. And I very purposely put that in air quotes. So we're about to start, but before we do, please like, subscribe, react. Yeah, is that everything? Great. Okay. You do that. It's been a while. Okay.
It's just that now that they're in me, it's like I know them, and it's not going to be easy when, these little babies have to go away.
I know, sweetie. But it's not like you're not going to have anything. I mean, you're going to have nieces and nephews. In some ways, that's even better.
Yeah, okay.
No, really. Really, Phoebes. I mean, you're not going to be the one worrying about saving for college or yelling at them when they're bad, or deciding to put them on Ritalin when they just won't calm down.
I mean, you're going to be the one that they come to when they want to run away from home and the one they talk to about sex.
You just get to be cool Aunt Phoebe.
Cool Aunt Phoebe. I am pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know what else? Oh, my God, are they going to love you?
They are going to love me.
Oh.
Thanks, you guys.
Oh, honey.
Again.
Oh, sweetie.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, what?
What?
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
Oh.
What? Oh, my God.
Oh, got you again. You're so easy.
It's very emphatic.
Is that it? Oh, okay. I think what she's feeling is very natural.
Yeah.
I think a lot of intended parents go into this with the apprehension of how is the surrogate going to feel when, they give birth and then it's time to hand over the baby to the parents. So I think, everything she's feeling is only that natural. She's going to miss the bump, going to miss the baby.
Yeah.
And, not all surrogates feel like that. But I think, given she's carried that baby and, she's got all of them hormones going through,
Yes.
she's just going over her feelings out loud. And, I think those are all natural feelings.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I was starting to consider my journey and then going through it, having our surrogate having those feelings, I think was a worry to me as an intended parent because, as somebody, particularly as somebody who has struggled for so long and wants nothing more than to be pregnant and be carrying a baby, you think, how can anybody kind of give that up? So I do think it's a very natural worry for intended parents to have, and most intended parents have it. It was interesting, when I spoke to, because I did speak with my surrogate about that, and she said, no, it's very clear for me, I love this baby as if it was my niece or nephew.
Yeah.
She said, I'm babysitting it for you. I'm gonna love it and I'm gonna take care of it, but I'm just the babysitter for 9 months. And by the time it came to give birth, she was like, no, I'm happy not to do the overnights. I'm happy not to do the diaper changes at 2:00 in the morning. And I think what was really gratifying for me was when she said, look, ultimately, yes, I enjoy being pregnant. Yes, I have a connection with the baby, but I know it's not mine. And I know that this isn't my baby from the start.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I'll feel an emptiness, a little bit of a loss, but it's not a loss because it's not my baby. It's not the same because it's not my baby. And I think that distinction, at least for her, I'm sure everybody's different, was very clear. But I also do think that those feelings from a surrogate, as you say, the hormones are going through her, and particularly one who isn't related as Phoebe is to their children, and they might not know what that relationship with the intended parents, the baby looks like in the future. I'm sure there probably is some uncertainty and potential feelings of loss. That doesn't mean that they want to keep the baby. It's just it's a change, and
Yeah.
so I think it's another reason why it's really important for surrogates and intended parents to have that emotional support, whether it's from friends, whether it's from a counselor, to kind of work through that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially going into that 4th trimester, here at MSJ, we work really closely with intended parents and surrogates in that 4th trimester to support them post-birth, because those emotions are really high. You've just given birth, the baby has gone home with the parents, you're then going through all of those emotions and getting used to, that bump not being there, that baby not moving, and yes, all the way through, that's the intention, and kind of what you signed up for, but it's just about supporting the surrogate as they go through all of those emotions. And like you say, just having those counselling sessions in place and having that scaffolding of support around you as you go through that 4th trimester. And it's also really important that you do some kind of intention agreement, whether it's an independent journey or whether you're supported through an organisation like MSJ, because your intentions then documented down. What does that birth look like? What does that post-birth look like? What does that handover look like from surrogate to intended parents? And all of those intentions need to be documented, so everybody is then clear and everybody's on the same page.
Exactly. And I know that none of us ever want to, what those intentions look like, particularly as the baby and becomes a child and grows up. Obviously, relationships change. None of us would ever, interfere with that intention. But I do think it's really important, like you said, to have those intentions clear so that everybody can manage their expectations, and potentially have that like very clear, almost like goodbye transition. For me, again, and I'm just only speaking from my personal experience, it was really important for my surrogate to have a chance to like meet and hold my baby before we came back home. And actually we would have done it a lot more, but it was COVID and lockdown, and we had to like break lockdown in order to do that. But it was really important for me because I was like, that for her, it's like that transition, right? You need a chance to say goodbye. And so that was something that we had spoken about for a long time. And so I think, just having that opportunity to meet him, to hold him, and to kind of like physically hand him over, even though he'd already been home with us for a couple of days at that point, was really important. So yeah, I completely agree. Having those intentions, having that clarity, having that set transition, I think just really, it really helps everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully that watching that clip was enjoyable. If it resonated with you, if those feelings have been something that have felt or have experienced as a surrogate, as an intended parent, as somebody who's considering surrogacy or has seen people go through surrogacy, we would love to hear your thoughts, opinions. So please feel free to comment below. But remember, this is a place for healthy, kind debate only, please. But yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts. So again, like, subscribe, comment kindly, and share. Thanks for watching.